Hey guys, Jimmy here again, and today I just wanted to talk a bit about my experience in the Doom Open Beta. I have played a good number of maps in this thing, so I think I can have a general feel of what the gameplay will play out like. I'm not actually going to be ranting about the gameplay itself, as you guys might have guessed from the title, which probably says sort of rant in it. I'm actually going to be probably getting upset about Bethesda's terrible PC porting, because this game carries on the legacy of Bethesda's infamously bad PC porting. As soon as the game opens, it just opens to the screen saying, okay, so there's going to be some major flickering and stuttering on the opening intro logos. And I was like, holy crap, alright. And it did. I mean, if you tried to skip through it, apparently it would crash the game, so you just had to sit there and not touch anything and wait for it to go through. And that's just the beginning. Once you get to the settings, it has like a standard Bethesda. You notice as soon as you get to the main menu that there's so much mouse acceleration. I don't know why Bethesda has such a problem with mouse acceleration. Now, this game's not as bad as Skyrim, because I think Skyrim had like the record for the worst mouse acceleration in world history. Like, it was insanely terrible. But it's pretty bad in this game too. And then you go, oh man, let me see what I can do in the settings about it. And you go to click video, and there's like hardly any settings at all. You can't change the graphics settings at all. And you can't turn anti-aliasing off. There's 3 settings for anti-aliasing, and you have to choose one of them, which is stupid. I mean, who does that? Who doesn't let you turn off anti-aliasing? VSync is by default on. Motion blur is by default on high, which looks like ass. I don't understand what the hell they were thinking when they were designing this layout for graphical settings, because you can't alter them in any way. The whole time when I was looking at it, I was like, oh man, Total Biscuit's gonna tear this thing apart, because he loves attacking bad PC ports, and this obviously is one of those. I mean, it has a shocking lack of graphical adjustments that you can make. And I mean, honestly, the biggest thing that just pisses me off is that you can't turn anti-aliasing off. I'm just thinking, who the hell does that? Why can't you turn it off? I don't know why Bethesda has such a bad problem with this. I mean, maybe for whenever the game is actually released, you'll be able to adjust the graphical settings and turn freaking anti-aliasing off, but right now, that's definitely out of the question, which is, I mean, really odd. I mean, I can't really say that enough, how freaking strange it is that you can't change anything about the game. But that's all I'm going to be talking about, the graphical settings. I feel like I've covered it enough. So I'm going to be talking about the gameplay now. I haven't played the original Dooms. That was before my time, so I can't really speak from experience and complain about that. That's what most of the complaints about this game are for the reviews on Steam. It says mostly negative, and it's basically because of this game is actually slower paced, and it feels a lot more like Halo than the original Dooms, and a lot of original Doom fans have a huge problem with that. Honestly, like, from my experience of just playing this game, like, I can't speak from how it compares to the old ones. I actually enjoy how this game feels. It does feel like Halo quite a bit, but I mean, you can go a lot faster and jump around and get around the map a lot smoother. But since we haven't had a Halo on PC since Halo 2, I mean, as much as I've wanted one because I grew up on Halo, I haven't been able to experience that, and this is probably as close as I'm gonna get until Halo Online comes to the West. Some of the guns are good. The rocket launcher in particular, you know, is kind of like the classic gun of Doom. And, you know, that's a good gun. It's a gun that a lot of people like using, but right now there's a serious balancing issue in this game. The assault rifle is completely useless. It is so ass. Like, you should never use it unless you're like a total masochist. And the shotgun, I think it's called the super shotgun for some reason, is insanely powerful. Guys are using this exclusively and like trying to snipe you with it and shit because it's so powerful. I was in a couple games where literally everyone in the server was using it because they didn't want to be at a disadvantage by not using it. And I really hope that they adjust that. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this game. I'm probably not. I'm just going to enjoy this free beta, but for the good of the community of this game, I really hope that they sort the balancing issues out and drastically reduce the range of the shotgun because it is insane. My favorite weapon in the beta by far is the Gauss Cannon. Now the Gauss Cannon is absolutely hilarious. It is a battlefield pickup, like it's going to be strewn somewhere on the map, and it's a one-shot kill, and you don't even have to be that accurate with it because it'll like magnetize towards enemy players. And I feel like, I mean, even though you just get 4 shots with it, it's kind of OP on the PC because of how accurate you can be with the mouse. Honestly, I think on console it's going to be a lot less, or it's going to seem a lot less powerful because it's, you know, harder. It's just intrinsically harder to aim with a thumbstick. It's kind of like the laser guns in COD AW, where it was like almost an instant kill, also because of how stupid fast the time to kill was in that game. So on PC, everyone was using the laser guns because they were totally broken, but on console, you barely ever saw them. And it's, I mean, it might not be that bad because, again, you only have 4 shots with the Gauss Cannon, so it's probably not that terrible, but it's still my favorite gun because it is absolutely hilarious to use, and I'm always trying to stay around the area where it spawns and try to camp it. Now about the maps, I'm not really sure how much I could talk about it because I don't have that much experience with old-fashioned arena-style maps except in the Star Wars Jedi Knight series, and that didn't really play out the same way as these, but honestly, I think from my experience that these maps do have a good flow to them. You could get around the maps really easily. They have a lot of, I guess, more skillful jump ways to get around the map that gets you around faster, and hidden vents and stuff with extra armor and whatnot inside of it. And I think it does have a good flow to it, and rewards, you know, just thinking about what you're doing as you're playing, and that on top of the slower time to kill, significantly slower time to kill in this game, makes it like this is a much more intelligent kind of shooter than something where you're just running around in circles, instantly killing everybody and getting killed from behind all the time. There is pretty extensive customization in this game. I mean, honestly, it sometimes feels like it's kind of overwhelming. I mean, even in this beta, there's so many different ways to customize what you have, your armor and your guns. Every single gun in this game is customizable, as well as every piece of armor on you. And it may seem like a little bit too much to me, but honestly, I know that a lot of people appreciate as much customization as possible, and I guess having too much is a lot better than having too little. And this is something that a lot of people who have been playing, you know, games with tons of customization for a while will appreciate. And this game has taunts like, you know, Black Ops 3, and, you know, shows the top guys of the game like Halo 5 as well. I'm not really a big fan of taunts. I mean, it's probably teaching bad habits, especially to younger players, like, oh hey, whenever we win the game, then we can like flip them off and everything and say fuck you, we beat you high and stuff like that. I think it promotes bad sportsmanship. I mean, it's kind of taking it to an extreme because they are just stupid. The taunts in this game especially are really stupid, but I mean, they do have a bit of charm to them. They are kind of funny, so I don't know, I guess I can, you know, overlook this just fine, and I guess we're going to be seeing a lot more taunts in the future because they seem to be increasing in popularity. Now, from what I experienced in the beta, this game's audio it's not good. I mean, I've definitely heard better audio in this game. I kind of like the sound of the commentator. I've had some friends complain about how the commentator sounds like because it sounds kind of like it's copying off of you know, Halo, but I think all of the original arena shooters from the 90s had that kind of commentator thing. I like the sound of this guy's commentating, but sometimes it can be annoying, especially if a lot of things that are commentator worthy happen at once. He just goes through the list and says every single thing that happened, and sometimes it can get lengthy and annoying. But in terms of like the other audio, like explosions and gun sounds, it's not that good, and my friends have also complained about that, and I can see where they're coming from. It's not really that pleasant to look at. It's not anything amazing in particular. I think it gets the job done, but it's definitely not going to win any awards. So overall, I think this game is actually pretty good. It definitely has a lot of potential. The gameplay itself in the matches was actually pretty fun. Like, I was thoroughly enjoying myself when I wasn't getting spammed by shotguns. And it definitely has charm, and I mean, while the graphics aren't really up, I think I think they intentionally made the graphics less so that a more, less lower end rigs can play it. It does get the job done, and the gameplay is really all that matters, and it's fluid and fun. Hopefully in the release of the main game it'll have, actual graphical settings, but we'll find out in the future. I'm probably not going to get this game just because I'm not really into these kinds of shooters, but I think that it will make a lot of people happy, and it's probably going to sustain a good sized community. So anyway, if you guys like this, or if not, just say so down in the comments what your thoughts were on the beta, and if you guys like this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and until next time, this is Yummy, goodbye, and good hunting.